Hello, welcome to a new video where today I'm going to be showing you my Kashtira Speedroid list, deck list, and this is for TCG rulings. I think it works in OCG, but I have not checked that, so don't quote me on it. That's the word. So yeah, this is my Kashtira Speedroid deck list. Hello, and now we've got a different angle here, and we're going to start with our Speedroid stuff. To begin with, your tuners, you are going to be running 2 Speedroid card turbos. These allow themselves to special summon if there's another wind monster on the field, but you can only do it once per turn, so having 2 is just a bit of consistency. Next you'll be running 1 Speedroid Den Duko Duke, because this guy can special summon any of your other tuners from the graveyard, so he's a very nice card to have in the grave. Next you're going to do your Medushi Piper. She allows you to excavate cards from the top of your deck up to the amount of other wind monsters on the field, and then add 1 to your hand, so you could easily excavate a Fenrir and just add that to your hand. It does not need to be a Speedroid monster. Those are the only tuners you're going to be running. I've seen people run Red-Eyed Die, but Red-Eyed Die you don't really need to run. It's just a card some people like to run, some people don't. It's a brick at the end of the day. With these cards you can kind of do other things with them. Next, onto your non-tuner cards, we are going to be running 1 Double Yo-Yo. Allows you to special summon a Speedroid monster that is level 3 or under from your graveyard, which is just a very nice pickup if you have your Link monster out, which we'll get into in a minute. It allows you just to bring back one of your monsters, which is a beautiful thing to have. Next, you're going to run 3 copies of Take a Tomahawk. Allows it to special summon itself. If there's a wind monster, then you can tribute it and special summon a tuner, Speedroid tuner, directly from your deck. It's just a very nice little combo starter. And then you'll be running 2 copies of Terratop. This card, everyone knows what it does. You special summon it to your field if you control no cards, then you can activate it, add any Speedroid monster to your hand. When it's normal or special, you can activate that effect, so don't worry. You can do it. Again, once per turn. That will be the Speedroid stuff you'll be running in your main deck. Next, we'll move on to your Kashtira stuff. First, you'll be running 2 copies of Kashtira Birth. You know what this card does if you're watching this video. It allows you to normal summon any level 7 monster from your hand without tributing. It also allows you, for when a spell card on your opponent's side of the field is activated, and you have a Kashtira monster on your field, you can then banish 3 cards from their graveyard of your choice. I believe it is a targeting effect, so be careful of that. But yeah. No, it's not a target. I read it. It's not. Then you will be running. This is a bit pricey, I know. You'll be running 3 Pressured Planet Wraithsome. These cards are just. This card is amazing. Such an amazing card. You can add, when you activate this card, you can add a Kashtira monster to your hand. Any beautiful, just a lovely card to have a pickup on. Then every monster you control gains 200 attack for every attribute on the field. Sorry, it's only 100 attack, my bad. But still, that's a lot. That's enough to get Fenrir over some monsters. It's enough to get your Unicorn over some monsters. It's a very just nice card to run. Those are the only spells you'll be running. And traps, you won't be running the you won't be running like Big Bang or Theosis or anything, because Theosis number 1 will take up too much space in the deck that you don't really want, because it's more Speedroid based combo wise. So I just haven't run it. You can if you want, but you know. Next you'll be doing 1 Scareclaw, just a nice pickup if you can get another monster on the field and there's a cash monster in your graveyard or in your hand and you just want to get it out on the field quickly. Also negate any monster that is involved in battle with this or any other Kashtira card. It's beautiful. Rise Heart. This card allows you to make Fenrir a 1-card combo by adding this to your hand, special summoning it, and then going on with your cash combos. Next, you will be running the recent amendment in the TCG, 3 Unicorns, allowing you to add any Kashtira spell to your hand. Obviously you can't add Planet because it's not technically a cash card, but it'll work. Yeah, it's also a very nice card. Banish a monster from your opponent's extra deck, face down, beautiful. And then obviously your 3 copies of Fenrir, which, let's be honest, you know what Fenrir does. The only problem you might have with Fenrir is he is quite expensive. I'm pretty sure he's like £25 at the moment in the UK. Planet's also about 30 to 40. It's a tough card to get hold of if you're trying to build a budget deck, but it's still it's very good. It can be played competitively. That is basically the engine stuff. All your engine stuff's out the way. Now we're going into generic hand traps and staples. We're going to staples first. You will be running 3 copies of Potiphar's Prosperity. In case you completely brick, you can then activate this and banish 3. You'll probably always want to do 3. Sometimes you can do 6 if you think you can spare them. But yeah, you're going to be doing 6 or 3 of these cards. Most likely 3, because those 3 extra reveal cards can change the entire game state. Next, 1 copy of Called By. All these hand traps being run at the moment, Called By is pretty much a necessity. Also, all these effects activating in the graveyard, you also want Called By to be there to be activated. And then finally, you will be activating, running 2 Triple Tactics Talent. Again, just a really nice way to get around the hand traps. If they activate an Ash, you can then just draw 2 cards, take control of their monster, or look at your opponent's hand, shuffle 1. It's just a really nice card to have a hold of in your deck. Those are the only staples that you're running other than hand traps. Finally, your hand traps, which there are a lot of. You'll be running 2 Ghost Spells and Haunted Mansion, just graveyard negations, special summon negations. It's just a very nice card to have, but you only want 2. 2 is the golden number. You're going to do 2 D-Shifters. This deck can perform amazingly under D-Shifter, so there's no reason not to run it. It's just a very, very nice card to have on the field. In your hand. Just they activate anything you like. D-Shifter or Standby Phase D-Shifter just shuts down so many decks, including Fire King. That's the only one I can think of off the top of my head that's in the meta at the moment. Sorry. You will be running, of course, as every deck now does nowadays, 3 copies of Ash Blossom. I will show you the side deck, because the side deck, you would take this out if Ash doesn't hit your opponent as hard. But the next card you could also do that, which is Droll and Lockbird. You'll be running 2 Droll and Lockbirds, because 3 I think would be too many, and 1's too little, so I think 3's the golden number. Sorry, I'm just trying to straighten up the cards. And then finally, your last hand trap will be Infinite Impermanence. Again, nice little monster negate, and from hand, of course. That will be the majority, your entire deck. That is 41 cards, if you've been counting. It's just, 41. It's just the golden number. You can take out the Called By if you want to, but now we'll get into the extra deck cards. Now, for the extra deck, you are running 2 Link monsters, and this is High Speedroid Rubber Band Shooter. I know these are upside down, but I'm just telling you what they are, and I'm telling you their effects. For the test hands, I will change the camera around so you can actually see. But yeah, High Speedroid Rubber Band Shooter. This card is amazing. We'll get into what it does in a test hand, because I will be summoning this. Because I'll do 1 or 2 test hands. It will just make it so much easier for me to show you how good this deck can be. But yeah, any 2 win monsters, that includes your Kashtira Unicorn. You can just make this card, then you can get a free card, 1 in graveyard, and it also gives you a second normal summon of a wind monster, again including Unicorn. It's just a very nice card to run. They are your Link monsters that you will be running. You could run SP Little Knight, but I'm not. Next, you've got your XEs. You've got Mecha Phantom Beast Draco Sack. Now, if you know what this card does, it's amazing. You will not be using the pop effect most of the time, where you can pop a Phantom Beast you control and then a monster your opponent controls. This card is here for the token effect, where detach 1, get 2 win tokens, and as you know, 2 win monsters. So you just use 2 win monsters to make that. You go. If you just open a cash hand, you can go, okay, Unicorn, grab Birth, Fenrir, and then you go, okay, XEs, Draco Sack, detach, Fenrir, Birth, get Fenrir back. You get your 2 tokens out, then you go Birth, get Fenrir back, go into your Link monster, and continue combos. Then you'll be running 1 or 2 Kashtira Shangri-La. I personally am running 2 at the moment, because I am debating whether or not to put Zeus in this deck. There is a space for Zeus here, that I will tell you what I would do Zeus or this card, but for now, this is what we're running. 2 of these, you know what this does, locks your opponent out of their zones, and then also allows you to special summon a Kashtira monster from your deck in your standby phase, which is a beautiful, beautiful effect. They are the only XYZ monsters you're going to be running. You might run Zeus. I personally haven't put them in the deck yet. Next is our Synchro monsters, which is what this deck is mainly built for. First, we have Stardust Charge Warrior. Now, if you don't know what this card does, basically, once per turn, you can just sorry, when this card is summoned, not once per turn, I lied, you can just draw a card. You just get a free draw, which is beautiful. You also get to this card can attack every special summon monster on the field. It only has 2,000 attack points, but if you remember, for every attribute on the field, you get a bonus of 100 attack. You can easily get this to 3k, easily. And that's what I like about it. It is a win monster, meaning card turbo's second effect by banishing itself and another Speedroid from the graveyard, plus is 800. It's just a very nice card to have in this deck, because win monsters. Next, we have some cards that are expected to be in here. Clearwing Synchro Dragon. A targeting negate. It also reduces the opponents to 0. It also can bring itself back, which is pretty nice. Next, we have a card that is so good. Clearwing Synchro Dragon. You are running 2 of these, and it will demonstrate why you're running 2 of these once we get into some test hands. This card has a dual negate. It has so when a level 5 monster activates its effect, you can negate and destroy. And then when an effect that targets a level 5 or higher monster activates, you can negate and destroy. It is a beautiful card. It also gains attack equal to the monsters it's destroyed. And it can do both in a turn. Next, this you can swap out for Zeus if you want, but currently I am running Kite Drake. When this is summoned, you can either negate all face-up cards your opponent controls, or you can destroy all monsters on the field except for itself. Very, very good card. But I'm debating switching it for Zeus. The only problem is the Link monster locks you into wind synchro monsters, so you can't, go into Zeus. You can't then bring out Shangri-La. This deck isn't completely amazing. Next, Shen Shen. Shen Shen is a very good card. Banish everything that leaves the field. Works very well with Cash because you can just bring them back, but then your opponents are stuck with banishes. This card will also be switched out for Zeus if you want to, because some decks like Goatee or Runic or stuff like that can deal with the banish, so you could switch this out. Next, you're running 2 copies of the Baron de Fleur, which by the way is really cheap now, so pretty easy to pick up some copies of this without breaking the bank. Omni negate, and it can basically you go, oh, so I've activated its Omni negate, we're in the standby phase. I'm just going to shuffle it back into my deck and grab a, I don't know, Fenrir from the graveyard or a Clearwing Synchro Dragon from the graveyard. It's just a very nice card to have. Next, you're running your Crystal Clearwing Synchro Dragon. I know it's a ghost route, I'm sorry, it's the only one I had lying around. This one allows you to, it's basically this but better, and it's you have to use this or this and a level 3 tuner. Yeah, you have to use 1 tuner synchro monster and then a 1 non-tuner Clearwing monster, so you have to use a synchro tuner monster. I forgot to put it in here, don't worry about it, to make this, but it's worth it because of the negates it has, but you're obviously always going to want to go into Baron more. You could run Formula Synchron for this, which is what I usually do, or you could run a couple other cards. So, it's pretty good. But then your final card is High Speedroid Clearwing Rider. This is 1 tuner, 1 non-tuner synchro monster, wind synchro monster. This card is amazing, but I'm not going to get to show you it, so we are going to read its effect, because you won't be able to see it in this test scenario, because I will not be summoning it. This card allows you to roll a 6-sided dice. You roll that dice, and then whatever number's on it, you can then shuffle that many wind monsters in your graveyard back into your deck. And if you do, you can destroy that many cards your opponent controls. It gains 500 attack for each destroyed card on your opponent's field by its effect, and it starts at 3500, so you can see how that can very quickly become a very powerful card. It also allows it to, so if you want, you can tribute it. This is a quick effect, and then special summon 2 level 7 synchro monsters from your extra deck. They have to be wind, so you can go these 2, which is a very, very nice combo, or you could just do, they have to have different names, so you have to do these 2. You could run some other level 7s that I'm not aware of. I know, like Maple Maiden, but I don't think you'd run that. There's Chevalier de Fleur, but again, these are probably your best bets. So yeah, that's the synchro monsters, and now we'll get into a little test scenario. Yeah. And we're back. I believe you can actually see now, so we're going to draw 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now this hand is pretty good actually. So what we're going to begin with is we're going to activate Pressure Planet Wraithson, allowing us to search a Kashtira monster. We are going to search, don't worry, I did shuffle. a Kashtira Unicorn. There it is. You can go into not Shenria, Rise Heart there, but Rise Heart would actually probably lock you out, and we don't want to Rise Heart there. So what we're going to do is then special summon Unicorn. Gonna activate our Unicorn's. Sorry about the mess up here. I know it's horrible. Gonna activate Unicorn's effect, and we are gonna search for. Sorry, you can't see that, can you? We're gonna search for a Kashtira Birth. If you don't know what this card does, it allows you to normal summon level 7 or higher, and that's all we need to worry about at the moment. So we're gonna grab that, and then we're gonna activate that down here. That is Kashtira Birth, which allows us to then normal summon, free of cost, our Fenrir from hand. We are then going to activate our Fenrir's effect and search a Kashtira Scareclaw. Add that to our hand. This will make sense in a minute, don't worry. I'll put that down. We'll add that to hand. Then we are going to overlay into I don't know why they're there, but that's fine. Mecha Phantom Beast Dracosack. And we're going to activate Dracosack, detach in Fenrir. We're going to send Fenrir to the graveyard. Then we are going to summon two tokens. So let me grab my tokens. I'll show you the side deck. I realise I just forgot to do that. But hey, I'm a professional. Now you'll have your 2 tokens. Then we're going to immediately link those tokens off. Let's make sure that's right. And into our Link Monster. Hi, Speedroid. Oh, fuck's sake. Sorry. We'll put that there. That works. We will then activate Rubber Band Shooter's effect. And by sending one of our Synchro Monsters, Wind Synchro Monsters to the grave, we can then reveal 2. We're going to send one of our Clear Wings. This is why we run 2. I'll just put this down here. It's down here on the banish, but just remember that. Then we're going to reveal 2 monsters that add up to the level of that monster we banished, and then we can reveal those to our opponent, and they will randomly add on to hand. I will be doing best case here just to show you how this deck can go, but obviously it won't always go like this. You know how we have 1 Terratop in hand? We are actually going to reveal a second Terratop. That's a Unicorn, a second Terratop. Because that can be really beneficial for us. We're then going to shuffle our deck. We want to not cheat and do that stuff. Then you're not going to cut yet, because you don't need to cut yet. You'll cut at the end of your turn, or if you're about to draw. This gets sent to the graveyard. That is optimal for you. They will either say, okay, shuffle them, I'll pick one random, or we'll roll a dice, even, odd, whatever. But this is optimal to add this to hand and that to the graveyard, because then you'll get this to hand. Then you can activate this second effect, which allows you to normal summon a Wind Monster a second time. Then you will normal summon this, and then you will activate his effect to bring back your Terratop from the graveyard. Then you can activate your Terratop effect to add a Speedroid monster to your hand. Sorry. You will then add, make it so you can see, a Take a Tomberg to your hand. Take a Tomberg, as you know, can special summon himself, which is beautiful. So we will add Take a Tomberg to our hand. We will correct our field, like so. And then we will special summon, because we control a Wind Monster, Take a Tomberg. Then we are going to activate Take a Tomberg's effect, which allows us to send him to the graveyard, or tribute him, and then special summon, special summon a tuner, Speedroid tuner. We're going to go for Speedroid, Den, Daiko, Duke. So, special summon. And we're going to shuffle, because we shuffle again, and we put our deck down. Then you're going to immediately synchro level 7, put these both in the graveyard, and then we're going to grab our synchro, which is going to be Clearwing. I'm going to put Clearwing on the field like so. Next, you are going to special summon from your hand this guy, because we control a Wind Monster, we can special summon him, and we haven't done one this turn, so we're going to go card Turbo, and then you're going to synchro level 6 into a little guy called Stardust Charge Warrior. Because Stardust Charge Warrior is special summoned, we can then draw a card. Okay, it's not ideal. Oh, sorry, we were supposed to shuffle, but it's fine. We got Ash, which is fine. We're then going to activate the effect of Scareclaw Kashtira to special summon itself by banishing a Kashtira Fenrir from our graveyard, which will allow us to special it. Next, we're going to activate Speedroid Speedroid Den Daiko Duke from our graveyard. By banishing him, we can special summon a tuner to our field. It's going to be Car Turbo. I can fit it in barely. So that's Car Turbo. Then we're going to Synchro level 10, because that's a legal thing to do. And we're going to bring out our Baron de Fleur, which is just a generic Synchro, which is beautiful. But then we're going to activate Kashtira Birth, allowing us to special summon our Fenrir from Banish Zone. That, at the moment, is a pretty solid end board, isn't it? You've got all your monsters. These are all wind. They're all wind except for him, so they all gain 200 attack points. So we've got Fenrir at 26, we've got Baron at 32, we've got Stardust Charge Warrior at 22, we've got our Clearwing at 27, and then we've got our Phantom Beast at 28, and then this guy's at 1200. This on its own is a beautiful end board, but what we can do then is we can set our Called By, allowing us to obviously stop anything we don't want happening, like they activate a, I don't know, what's that branded card? Despian Tragedy, I think it's called. That, or a Goatee monster, or the Goatee's actually maybe not, because obviously banish those, they get their effects. But a lot of cards that go to the graveyard, Ash, Droll, all that stuff, if they do that in their turn for some reason, we can stop that. But then with the cards in our hand, we've got Ash in hand, so we can stop a search from them. We've got an Omni Negate here, we've got 2 Negates here, we have a Banish on Fenrir. It's just all together. Oh, and then we also have a pop. Although we don't have a pop on this, we don't have Shangri-La on the field. We can get a Shangri-La on the field by going from here to here, which allows us to Shangri-La. But obviously, we can't use this for synchros because XEs can't be used as synchro monsters. For synchro monsters, sorry. But yeah, that is test hand 1, and I think that's a pretty good test hand. I showed you pretty much full power what this deck can do in a turn. 3 negates, a banish, a hand trap, a Called By. Obviously, it's a bit of drawing, but maybe we'll get a worse draw this time, and I can show you what the deck happens when you haven't got such a good draw. Alright, we're back. Cleared the board so we can just see a new hand. We're going to cut, so you know I'm not stacking the deck. We also wanted to say last duel we obviously didn't. I didn't talk about interruption much because you know this is, by the way, part of a Kindred toy. I just took it apart. But yeah, I forgot to talk about interruption. Interruption can do a bit to this deck if you don't have anything, but a lot of the times this deck can play around an Ash. Droll is a bit of a but if you've got a card like Rise Heart where you banish and then you got stuff that sends to the graveyard or special summons directly from deck, you should be okay. But anyway, without further ado, let's draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is a bit of a worse hand. Going second this would be good, but this is a going first deck. You don't really want to go second with this deck. So these cards are basically worthless for us this turn. But these cards aren't bad. So what we're first going to do is activate our planet. Now, say this were to get ashed, you obviously have your Terratop, which allows you to just special summon that, and you can do Speedroid combos. But we're going to assume that they didn't have anything. So we can either add Unicorn here to get our Birth, which is actually probably the better thing we want to do here, or we can go to Fenrir just to get our Rise Heart, then we go Rise Heart, then we can do... Now, you know what, I'll show you some cash stuff for once, for a bit, because I don't really want to just show you Speedroid stuff. Or just synchro climbing, or speed synchros as I call them. We are going to add that to hand. And instead of doing this, we are then going to special Fenrir. And we're going to take Fenrir's effect, which will allow us to add a Kashtira monster. Now last time we added unicorns, I wanted to show you what this could do with synchro wise. I want to show you what this can do XYZ wise. We're going to add Rise Heart. Yes, that's right. This actually isn't completely ideal because we got to banish, and it's a whole thing. This isn't actually going to be full combo at all. But if I then wanted to say special summon this, I'd be locked into synchros for the XYZ monsters for the rest of this turn, which means we can only really go into Shangri-La, which isn't bad with this on the field. So I'm going to do that. We're going to go effect special, allowing us to bring our Right Art onto the field. Then we're going to activate our Right Art. Ideally, you want to start with a Unicorn and Right Art, but it's fine. You're going to find yourself. I think. I'm thinking here. I think we're going to go Unicorn. Yeah. So you're going to banish Unicorn from your deck. They will then banish the top 3 cards of their deck face down, which is beautiful for us. But then we are going to overlay these monsters, which is beautiful, into a cheeky little Shangri-La. And you can put it in defense because it has no attack points. It actually does. It has 100 attack points at the moment. And it has 3100 defense because they gain defense as well. But at that point, as you can see, there's not much we can do now, is there? We could normal this, and then we could add ourselves a Speedroid to our hand, but there's not really much point except for gaining more attack points. I'll do it because why not? We'll go normal summon, because if you remember, we haven't normal summoned yet. We will then add to our hand a Take-a-Ton Borg, because Take-a-Ton Borg is the one that specials itself. And there's really not much point in grabbing a thing, but what we're going to do is we're going to activate its effect, or we're going to add it to our hand, special summon, activate its effect. Then we're going to special summon Medushi Piper. Because we control one other wind monster, we can reveal one card from the top of our deck and add it to our hand. Usually you get to pick, it's like a prosp. But we only control one other wind monster, so we're going to reveal a D-Shifter, which is actually okay. Sorry, no, that's... my graveyard's all messed up. You're supposed to be in the graveyard, you're supposed to be banished. There we go. It would have been okay if Take-a-Ton Borg didn't just go to the graveyard, so we could still activate this, but we can't. But yeah, as you can see, this isn't bad. What we do is we'd set our Imper right there. And then what we do is we go, okay, your turn, pass, and then we go, okay, in standby, they draw, we go in standby phase, Shangri-La, then you find your Fenrir, and you go Fenrir. And then you have a banish on the field. Sorry, my mouse is in the way. Then you have a banish on the field, which is actually really, really nice to have. But also what you get is, you get to activate this, which is a pop. Obviously, now we probably wouldn't want to use... what you could do is you can activate this, you can pop this, and now that this is popped, there's no way they could attack to easily get damage. Obviously, you could Fenrir if they declare an attack, but that depends on what you want to do. But then you obviously have these 2 cards, which are amazing. You Ash, they're like, okay, I'll do this, add to hand, and then they're like, okay, activate another card to add to hand, draw, just stop the man into hand completely. Or, what I'd probably rather do, we'd draw as soon as they added something, and then we'd wait for them to say, okay, special summon from deck, and I'd go, okay, Ash. That's probably my preferred way of dealing with it, but yeah, this is a less powerful board, but obviously still pretty powerful. You've got a targeted negate, you've got a special summon from deck negate, and a add from deck negate, and then you also have a limiter, which is also very nice. This would be nice, but obviously can't use it. But yeah, you obviously have this, which means, when this activates its effect, we can lock a zone they have, because when something's banished face down, this gets to activate its effect. I don't know if that's once per chain, actually. During each standby phase, yeah, we know that effect. Each time a card your opponent controls, your opponent owns and possesses is banished face down, except during the damage step, choose one. So, say you were to activate, sorry, there goes there. Say you activate Birth. I don't know how this works, but if you activate Birth, they banish 3. You probably lock 3 zones off that, but I don't know if that's true. It might only be 1. And it might not be any, because it says they possess. So, I don't know. Maybe Unicorn does it, but I don't know. But yeah, that is pretty much the deck. It's pretty powerful. It is pretty powerful. I got I think the highest I've come in locals, which play pretty much pure Fire King. There are some Goatee Runics and Runic Stun, Floowandereeze and all that. I've come 5th with it, but a better duelist could definitely do better than I did. Obviously, there are probably some misplays you guys have seen me do because I am, again, not the greatest duelist in the world. But yeah, I hope you guys can optimize this deck even greater than I have. I hope you guys can make this deck amazing. I hope you can push it to its greatest potential, but I think, personally, other than pure Kashtira, this is the best Kashtira deck you can make. The Speedroid Kashtira, because they just correlate with each other so well. Wind monsters galore. It's just a beautiful, beautiful deck. But that will be it for this video. If you enjoyed, please like, please subscribe. I'll do more deck lists in the future. Maybe I'll do some Blue Eyes decks. Maybe I'll do some Time Thief decks, some pet decks of mine. Maybe I'll do some more competitive decks like a Snake Eyes deck. I don't know. But if you really enjoyed this video, please thumbs up and leave a like. That's the same thing. Please comment. Tell me if I did anything wrong. Tell me if I did anything right. And I will see you lot in the next one. Have a good one.